Following the success of last year's In Focus series, I'm pleased to announce that we will be repeating the concept this season. Last year, you may remember, we took a close look at French music over quite a long period of time. This year, we're going to be narrowing the perspective, both in geographical and chronological terms, to the immensely fertile period of time known as fin de siècle Vienna, that is to say, the last 20 years or so of the 19th century, at a particularly important time in European social and cultural history. We will be looking at music written essentially between 1880 and 1900. And it's amazing to think that the period that we're covering here is just 20 years, because there's an astonishing variety of music that we're going to be looking at. Everything from Brahms and Johann Strauss to Mahler and Bruckner and early works of Arnold Schoenberg. I've spread the music out over 4 concerts, the first of which is going to take a look at the history and evolution of the Romantic German song. And in a sense, we're going to take a run up to the end of the 19th century by looking at some works of Brahms and Schubert and Schumann, as well as the focal point of this concert, the song cycle Songs of a Wayfarer by Gustav Mahler. The beginning of the 19th century saw the publication of an anthology of German folk poetry, collectively known as the Youth's Magic Horn. A lot of composers over the 19th century set these texts to music, including Brahms and Schumann. And we're going to, in the first program, take a look at some of those texts, and we're going to be joined by the baritone Eugene Brancoveanu. These will culminate in a performance of Mahler's song cycle, which is heavily influenced by the Youth's Magic Horn, although this particular song cycle is called Songs of a Wayfarer. And its arrangement is an interesting one by Arnold Schoenberg for a small chamber ensemble. I'm very much looking forward to that. The highlight of the second concert of the series is Brahms' Clarinet Quintet, a late piece and one that's infused with a kind of autumnal melancholia, if you like. It's music that gives us a real glimpse into Brahms' soul, and it's an extraordinarily powerful and beautiful piece. For our third program, we'll be putting a single piece under the microscope, Arnold Schoenberg's Transfigured Night for string orchestra. And the reason we're going to be concentrating on this one work is that it is an extensive composition, about 30 minutes, and it's really quite complex, and I think would benefit from a little insight and discussion. We're going to be taking it apart, showing you how it's all put together, and then performing it as one single 30-minute span. In that piece, we see the real beginnings of the collapse of tonality, for which Schoenberg is justly regarded. And we see a kind of chromatic saturation that happens in this music, and the loosening of the bounds of tonality. It's a fascinating look into the world of the 20th century. We end the series with a mixed bag of pieces, one by Hugo Wolf, his Italian Serenade for string quartet. Then our artist in residence, the renowned soprano Deborah Voigt, will be joining us for some more songs. And finally, a real kind of dessert, a slice of Sachertorte in the form of Johann Strauss's Emperor Waltzes. I think it'll be a nice way to end the whole series, and I hope you'll be able to join us for all of the programs.